The first time I met Cannibal Corpse was back in 2004 when we filmed at Wacken Open Air for our first documentary, Metal: A Headbanger's Journey. And looking back at the footage now, 13 years later, it really reveals to me the kind of film we were trying to make. On one hand, it was a film for metal fans, but on the other hand, it was really meant to provide a window into metal music and culture for non-metal fans, which was a really difficult balance to strike. And you know, I asked the guys in Cannibal Corpse a lot of the same questions they've been asked for many years about their lyrics, their imagery, and the controversy surrounding the band. And so I want to say thanks, guys, for playing ball, and I promise I'm not going to ask a question about fucked with a knife ever again.
Do like 10 minutes or so.
Okay, it's cool.
That
should work, yeah.
Okay. I'd like to start talking about death metal. Seems like a good place to start, an accurate place to start. Music has been described as death metal. So tell me, what is death metal? What is it about? We'll start with you, George.
It's, to me, the most aggressive music that there is. I mean, it's obviously heavy. There's a lot of speed involved when you're talking about the drums. It's just brutality, basically, is the one word you could sum up death metal. I mean, to me, it's the greatest music invented, if you know. So it's kind of a hard way to describe, especially since I mean, it's all been said and done, like, to, you know, as far as like everybody trying to just put the proper words to it, but it's just the most brutal music there is, and it's what we play. And you know, we're proud to play death metal, and we always say death metal, even to people who have no clue about what it is. You know, most people go, "Oh, you're a heavy metal band." We're death metal, first and foremost. I mean, heavy metal is different, and death metal is part of the whole tree, but we play death metal.
Do you think, Alex, that there's particular values that death metal musicians and fans subscribe to? Like, is there something that binds death metal fans?
Well, I think just as far as the music goes, like if you were going to differentiate it from thrash metal, for example, thrash metal is like really heavy and fast. The difference would be maybe that death metal is heavy, fast, and also dark. You know what I mean? There's always like kind of a dark, you know, theme going on with the music, and the lyrics too, and then the vocals are guttural and that. So definitely that's what sets it apart from a lot of other kinds of metal, is that it's really going for darkness in the riff writing style.
So why do you think Cannibal Corpse Cannibal Corpse specifically has had such staying power?
I think it's just because, you know, when we were starting out, we saw certain bands that we were fans of change their style after the first couple albums. And, you know, there's still bands like that today where all I like is the first couple albums. And we didn't want to be one of those bands. We wanted to be a band where we kept the same style but just tried to improve on it each time around, you know. So every album is essentially, we're going for the same thing, fast, brutal death metal, but hopefully it's a little better each time.
Alex, I know you're involved in a lot of the lyric writing for the band. You guys have taken a lot of flack over the years for your lyrical content being graphic and gory and whatnot. Tell me about the lyrics that you write, and why are these lyrics important to you? Why do you write this way?
I mean, for me, it was always something that just complemented the music, you know, and that's something that our band is about. I mean, the name of our band is Cannibal Corpse, so it's natural that we're going to write songs that are gory. I mean, there's no surprise with that. And I do think that if you're going for music that sounds violent, then having lyrics that are violent is perfect complement, you know.
George, yeah, I mean, a lot of things you sing about are around pain and suffering and gore and mutilation and disfigurement and all those great things. I mean, tell me about why you enjoy singing these kinds of lyrics.
Well, like, first and foremost, the music is what comes first. You know, like he said, you know, the lyrics just complement what the music is trying to say. You know, and we all enjoy horror movies. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's crazy that people are so against us for what we write about. They must think that we're very serious about it, like that we're actually we're stalking people right now as we speak. I'm eyeing people to kill. You know, I mean, give me a fucking break. You know. We're you know, we're just a band, and we all like horror movies. We all, we're all watching them, on the bus. We bring, our movies with us and whatnot on tour. And it's really not, I mean, to me, like, the voice is just another instrument. I mean, I like the lyrics, I mean, as far as just for what they are, but the music is the most important thing, and if you look at it like the music, then the voice is another one of the instruments that are they're being played. And so the lyrics just fit with the music. We take them seriously as far as grammar and whatnot. We don't want to, have poor grammar in the songs and whatnot, but we're not, it's not, you got to take a pinch of salt and sprinkle it on them. They're not meant to be cheesy, but they're not to be taken as serious as some people do. Most of the fans, all the fans, I would say, they understand. When I send "Fucked with a Knife" out to all the women, they laugh. All the girls like, woo! They get it. They understand. It's obviously there's nothing serious, and I'm not trying to, say that I condone, those kind of things. I mean, it's ridiculous if you really think that we're up there banging our heads and like, yeah, cool, take a knife and put it, give me a break. So look, I don't never sit back and I read the lyrics and go, that's brutal. When Alex or Paul brings some of the lyrics, I'm like, that's fucking brutal. But other than that, it's not like I really read them in depth and go, what's wrong with these guys, or what's in their head, or try to, I mean, like I said, the lyrics are are important, but the music is the most important thing. And I would hope that when people remember the band, I know they're going to remember us because of the lyrics and some of the controversy and for the album covers. But I would hope that they would go, that band really worked hard, because these guys are writing, working hard to write, good music, and that's, I think, should always be first. I mean, unless we don't have a message. So, if we did, then obviously we'd want people to hear our message and remember us for that, but we don't. We're just the music's brutal, the lyrics are brutal, man. It's it's just that simple.
Alex, I mean, obviously these songs like "Fucked with a Knife," etc., have caused a lot of controversy, right?
Sure.
They've, tell me about why is it that Cannibal Corpse, do you think, has been censored? Why is it that this music is people have tried to control it?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, look where things have come, like in the past 50 years or something. They were trying to censor, original rock and roll, and those people who were trying to censor that, a lot of them are still around. A lot of those people are still alive, so they must really, if they were having difficulties with like Chuck Berry or whatever, then it's not a big surprise that they don't like what we're doing. But I think for our band in particular, a lot of the reason that we have so much trouble is we're more visible. I mean, there's a lot of great gore death metal bands out there that have lyrics that are even worse than what we do, which therefore means they're better, but they're just not as well known as us, so we catch a lot more heat because we're a lot more visible than some of the other underground bands.
This movie is going to be seen by people who don't know much about metal at all. And
Okay.
I think to hear that a song called "Stripped, Raped, and Strangled" is a joke is going to be very difficult for people to swallow. So, what do you mean by that?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a joke at all. I mean, the lyrics are about serious stuff, and it's horrible stuff, happening to people. But, we want the music and the lyrics to match. You know what I mean? And if we're going for the most extreme music we possibly can, then we got to go for the most extreme lyrics we can too. And when you write about something, just the same way a horror writer or a guy who's making a horror movie is not necessarily, or almost never condoning, violent behavior. The same thing when a person's making violent music, they're not necessarily condoning violent behavior. We're certainly not. It's a way to get your aggressions out through something else, really. I think that's the way metal is in general, and death metal for sure. It's a great way to get your aggression out. So, I mean, yeah, the lyrics are about serious subject matter. It's no joke at all. I mean, who would make jokes about people getting hurt that bad? It's definitely sick, serious stuff, and that's what we want. We want to make a band that's a serious, disgusting death metal band. That's what we want.